Studying theories of the mind gives rise to many important questions, like, how do we describe experience? What properties can we attribute to experience itself? When we're perceiving something, like an apple, what is the content of this experience? My name is Corey Drozdowski, and today we'll be talking about the Phenomenological Fallacy. This is a fallacy in philosophy, and to give it some context, first, the mind-brain identity theory is a theory of the mind which says that brain states of our brain, are identical to states of our mind, or mental states. To put it more bluntly, there is no distinction whatsoever between the biological processes of the brain and the mental processes we experience as thoughts, feelings, or etc. They just are the same thing. This theory has many opponents. Many people believe that the mind and the brain are separate. The mind is something distinct from the brain. It is a soul, something non-physical, somehow separated. Proponents of this theory are called duelists. There are many arguments in favor of dualism and many arguments to show that the mind is somehow distinct. The main way to show that something is separate from something else is to show that one thing has a property that the other thing lacks. So to do this, duelists go back to this example of perception, experience. They talk about an example like seeing an apple or any other experiences, and their intuition usually goes something like this. When we're looking at an apple, we have a red experience, but there's nothing like this red to be found in the brain. So our mental states must be separate from brain states. But wait. Proponents of the mind-brain identity theory have identified a problem with this logic. These arguments implicitly, or explicitly in the case of my example, conflate the qualities of experiences and the qualities of the objects experienced. They say that when we're seeing something in our mind's eye, our experience of that thing is red. We're having a red experience. But this is not fair to say. And this is called the Phenomenological Fallacy, dubbed by U.T. Place. Phenomenology is the study of philosophy concerned with consciousness and phenomena, the objects of experience. This phenomenon of the phenomenological fallacy arises from a historical understanding of the way we think, which characterizes our thought as images in the brain. We picture the apple in our brain, and therefore our experience of it is red. But wait, we can't say this unless we are willing to argue that we are really creating an actual apple in our heads. Now, to be fair, this is not to end the conversation right here. It is not impossible that the qualities of experiences could be identifiable with qualities of ordinary material bodies. We don't know exactly for sure, but the burden lies with the duelists to demonstrate this possibility. They have just implicitly conflated the two qualities. And so this brings us back to the questions we started with. What properties can we attribute to experience? Experience is a rather vague concept when compared to our brain. And how do we go about describing experience in the first place? This idea arises from an understanding that we are not looking at the experience itself when we're looking at somebody's brain. We are looking at someone having an experience. And so experience seems to have a unique exclusive understanding to it. And this is where dualists get the idea of the distinction. So how do we understand this phenomenon? Thank you for watching.